Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
What's up?
Who is the Swaggy McYolo?
That's a good guy, bro. Shout out
Why
Swaggy
is he-
Maciolo.
Who is it? Why is he calling us bums? Right off the rip, coming in hot.
He's mad I haven't played Counter-Strike in like 6 weeks, man. He's really upset about this WoW thing. It is what it is. He hit level 10, face it, and then I started playing other games. He finally got good. Man.
Took him long enough.
Yeah. Well, not everyone can be the multi-Jean Don. You know what I mean? Not everyone can be good at every game that they get on.
That's kind of a fire nickname that you just self-entitled yourself.
I stole it. It's fine.
Ah, damn.
It is what it is.
Give you props, dude. It's pretty good.
I'll keep it too.
Who was the originator?
That's the GOAT, the OG, the Mount Rushmore of streaming to me. CDN the third.
Okay, all right. Shout out.
Don't get it
Isn't
twisted.
his name C's?
C's. Mm-hmm.
Shout out C's. Welcome back, dude. We're back.
Good to be back.
We're having a good day so far. Abe, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. No complaints here, man. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be on here talking about God knows what.
Wonderful to hear. I had a great weekend.
And mine wasn't so good.
I'll get the fuck out of here. I went up to see Mark's from Bad Boy.
That's true.
It was a great visit. It was awesome. Ate some good food. I think I ate way too much, actually. Came home and just was not farting right for at least the past 4 days, dude.
That ribeye do you dirty?
I don't know. I don't think it was either the ribeye, the one piece of meat I ate the whole weekend, or it was the three full pizza.
Oh yeah, you kind of went hard on the pizza.
Fuck yeah, I did.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Was this over the course of a weekend? You ate 3 whole.
Dude, to be fair, that's generous. It was actually a day and a half.
Yeah, it was under 30 hours. I think you slammed that home.
Under 30 hours, you slammed 3 whole. Are they like we're talking large pizzas?
Nah,
like a large pizza.
They're personal fish.
Sure, okay. Yeah, like they were small-ish, but it was enough. It was enough that you should be like, why are you eating that much? And I would tell you that it's delicious. That's why I'm eating that much.
I love that.
Before we jump into this, do me a favor. Would you kindly hit the subscribe button, follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, hit that bell. And without further ado, why don't we get into this bad boy?
We got it.
All right. Well, usually I try to start us off with gamers that are angry or mad or happy and gleeful. This week's a little bit different. I got a little bit of an embrace debate for you guys. Okay.
I like debates. Some say debate. I'm the master.
Yeah, we know. Trust me.
There's a little survival game out there called Rust. I don't know if you guys have ever heard
of it.
Great game.
It's probably the largest survival game out
by
there.
a mile. Shout out Face Punch.
Really? Is it the largest survival game?
Are we counting Minecraft?
Yeah,
we are not counting Minecraft, but we are counting DayZ.
It's a genuine survival shooter. Yeah, we're definitely counting DayZ. Yeah, God, does Rust crush it? Oh my God, not even close.
All right. Okay.
Well, Rust is a very well developed game. Even if you don't, I'm not a big fan of the survivor genre myself, but I recognize that Rust is probably one of the best ones to do it. And one of the issues that they do have with Rust, though, is when you are popular, when you are that big of a game, plethora of cheaters that get filtered into the system. So Rust, and they put this out there to the fans of their game and kind of put it out to everybody on Twitter and some other polls, but they're kind of taking feedback from their user base here. They're basically talking about the cheating problem. They're exploring their options, and they want some feedback on how they could solve their cheater issue. And what they've done is they've used some kind of, let's call it quantitative analysis here, and they've explored the Steam data, and it shows that typically a player of Rust that has a Rust Steam inventory value of $20,
okay,
is not a cheater. So essentially, if you've invested money into the game, so you have skins and things where your Rust Steam inventory is over $20, that there are very few people in that pool of players that have been caught cheating. Most of the cheating takes place below that dollar value. So their concept is to introduce premium servers that you can only access if you have a Steam inventory. I think they reduced it by $5 in their projection, but essentially your Rust Steam inventory has to be greater than $15 for you to access the premium servers, hoping this will block out the cheaters.
So I have a question. And is it as simple as Rust Steam inventory is skins and stuff? That's as simple as saying that. It's what you buy in game.
Correct.
Or whatever.
Correct.
What do hackers make money-wise in game? Like, what is the benefit and what is the profit they pull in?
It completely depends on the market of the game specifically. Usually the higher the risk, higher reward, the more that they're able to make, which is why Tarkov is so profitable to RMT or do real money transactions on. And essentially big ticket items can go for quite a bit. It really just depends. I think the economy shifts for it pretty significantly, but the reality is that they're making a lot more than the opportunities wherever they're from most of the time. So typically we see a lot of the cheating come in from like Southeast Asia, where, you know, their day-to-day work is obviously, you know, comparatively, if they're receiving like USD for these items in game, it crushes their earning potential locally. So
are the cheaters selling accounts and things? Are they the ones making the money, and then there's just cheaters that buy stuff and play games?
it's not that they're selling accounts. What they're doing is they're selling in-game items. Sometimes they're selling the actual cheats, right, which are like injectables so that you can cheat in the comfort of your own home. And be a scumbag until you get caught, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it's like items, because that's much harder to track. Like some random guy drops you an AK on a server so that you and your crew have that like accessibility, especially for a game like Rust, where it's like, okay, the hard part at the beginning is getting the items necessary, right, up the tech tree. And so if you get really high tech right off the rip, you're going to have a massive advantage on the rest of the server, and it can carry you for an entire wipe.
So, but who is this going to ban? Because the guy that's slanging AKs will buy $20 worth of inventory.
The problem is the reason that this prevents them from doing it is because it essentially, if they can make it expensive enough for you to be required to be on the premium servers, then it's infinitely more of an investment if your account gets banned. So every single time you are not losing the price of the game on your account, but you're also losing the value of the skins too. And so they're just really trying to up the ante and basically have it be like a less profitable upside. So people who want to, and theoretically most players who've been playing for a really long time and just are looking for a cheater-free experience, like they said, already have this $20 plus of in-game Rust skins. I do find it a little weird that they specifically stick it to Rust Steam inventory. What I would prefer to see is up the ante way more, but make it all inventories across your Steam account, right? So this is the Steam trusted queue that we pushed, you know, the Cycle Frontier into utilizing very successfully. They were really like weighing their options between something like a Steam trusted queue or like ping limiting and looking into like trying to prevent people from super like high ping servers from, you know, basically inundating, because so much of the cheating comes from, you know, Southeast Asia. So it can be. Go ahead.
Well, I just isn't what I'm thinking right now is the cheaters, all they do is simply say, okay, well, you just made my cost per acquisition $15 higher. That's not the end of the world for me. I'll just raise my prices a little bit because degens in Rust won't mind paying a little more for an AK.
And that's the market. That's the balance. That's why like they are putting this out there, and they're trying to see like, because it requires a quantitative analysis for the reason that you just said, because it's just a business, right? So it's like, where is it no longer worth it? What is the consumer not willing to pay? How hard is that going to be? And that's really where what Face Punch needs to figure out, right? What's going to feel bad? Because if you can hurt the wallet of the cheaters, then you know, your servers aren't going to be inundated, and you can have like a nice experience. And this worked incredibly successfully, and it's really important in a free-to-play game like the Cycle was, where all it takes is just making another Steam account. But for Steam Trusted Queue, essentially, if you were a trusted account, that meant that you had a certain age to your Steam account. You had spent a certain amount of money on your Steam account, right? And it was actually a legitimate barrier of entry. Some people talk about like trying to add phone numbers, right, to your account to like verify it. We've seen this in the CS community back in the day for like the original Prime. You'd link your like phone number. The phone numbers are so easily spoofable these days. It's like not an effective method whatsoever. But I
What's
love
the
Steam
downside
Trusted
of
Queue.
this?
There
What's
isn't
the
one.
Well,
downside of this?
there's. I'll tell you what. I'll get to why this is embraced debate in a second too, where the debate comes into this. The other thing I will note, I think the reason this could be effective with the Rust Steam inventories, I don't think Rust is a large target for RMT when it comes to cheating. I think a lot of the cheating is just people downloading cheats to ruin the experience of others, or to gamify it themselves. There's not as much opportunity for RMT in a game like Rust versus a game like Tarkov, where there's a market, you can sell stuff, and it's a little bit different of an experience. But where the debate has been coming in, and this is kind of why I think they push this to feedback to their user base here, is there's kind of two camps of sentiment here, and the camps are: this is a good idea. I'm willing to make an investment into my Rust Steam inventory with my wallet to access this, to have a better experience. And the other camp is, this is a way for you to get more money out of people and not actually do any work on your actual anti-cheat system. So this is an anti-cheat without having to invest into your own game, into an anti-cheat system, as well as it's also just here's the price tag to cheat now in this game.
Well, the middle one, if they took Markstrom's suggestion, that wouldn't be an argument. The last part, sure, but the middle part was saying this is more money towards Rust would be invalid because we're just requiring more money into Steam, more time into Steam. So that argument would be invalid if they were going for this. What is it? Verified, trust verified, or
Whatever you want to call it is fine. Premium servers, what they call it.
no, your solution, not the $15 inventory, but the trusted Steam
inventory, or trusted Steam, right? And that's fine. I mean the people that claim that this is Face Punch not trying to make their game better, despite being the only company out there in this genre that actually tries to make their game better consistently over time, are the ones actively buying cheats and being scumbags on the weekends with their boys. Like that's the reality. That's the only people saying that. It's either that or they're just brain dead. So honestly, I think at the end of the day, if you were to try to beat cheaters with tech and tech alone, it's going to be a constant back and forth. That's always going to be the case. The only way to effectively control the situation is through preventative measures, basically by making casual cheaters feel like maybe they're going to lose their entire inventory, right? If they get banned or they're not able to play the game on that Steam account, and then they have to rebuy, blah, 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 right? Or to hit the wallets of the cheat providers specifically. And so that's what this does. I think that it's been shown to be effective in games in this genre before, and I think it's a great idea. I think that's absolutely I would recommend this for every single extraction game on the planet, or any survival shooter. Anytime that there's risk reward plus cheating in RMT, this is a viable solution that they should look into.
I will say too that I don't think I've ever seen a game company fix an issue with cheating quite as effectively as the cycle did by using the Steam Trusted Queue. The downsides of something like that kind of system is, if you are new to Steam, you're a new PC gamer or something like that, and then you want to play that game, you are inundated with a plethora of cheaters when you're not in that queue, because you're kind of stuck, and you might be a perfectly legitimate person who is not cheating, but because you don't qualify for a trusted Steam account, whether it's time or whatever, that can be an issue. But I think that's well worth the cost there with how effective it was in eliminating cheaters.
Well, maybe, but those are the people we need. We need the newcomers. Yeah, you need
the drop in the bucket. Those aren't the people that are going to buy skins either, right? Because they don't know the culture. They don't understand.
No, not buy skins, but those are
for someone like the Cycle
players.
Frontier. It's the only monetization method they had. They weren't even buying the game. And it's so few and far between. At the end of the day, it's 100% worth it for those people to have a negative experience, because again, there's like dozens of them total across the entirety of the player base.
New people?
Not new people to Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is rare.
Well,
That is much rarer.
what is the rate of new Steam account growth? Like there has to be a growth or a rate of new Steam accounts.
If you looked at something like an extraction shooter, like the Cycle Frontier, it's significantly less than 1% are a new Steam account. There's no way it's above that. So, and again, it's not monetizable users anyway, right? Like the idea of someone just starting Steam and then like wanting to buy skins in this game is a lot less, in my opinion, than people. Which is the only monetization that they had.
We're talking about the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you, but if Rust were to take it seems like Rust is taking
someone's first Steam PC game is Rust, then their life is already a nightmare.
Well, my first, what my first game was?
Yeah,
DayZ.
Yeah,
I freaking loved it.
There's a reason you're more of a casual gamer now, though, Slum. You know, you couldn't fully. That's a tough first
not
game.
Because of DayZ. No, I hear what you're saying. I think maybe that's why Rust is doing the inventory as opposed to the Steam account, verified Steam account, because in my opinion, even if it's, I don't know,
it's
even
the
if it's
exact same thing. They're just specifying the money has to be spent on their shit rather than something else.
Well, no, because you said time. A Steam account would have
doesn't have to be time gate. I think if they just opened it specifically to money on an account, right? Because that's really like the be all end all, right?
Yeah.
Is if you have if you're monetarily de-incentivized to cheat, then that's a win.
Okay.
No, I think I know what you're saying though, Slum. I think you're saying if you're just using the Steam Trusted Queue, part of the Steam Trusted Queues metric is, I think, account.
Yeah, and you can pick and choose too when you go through Steam. That was my understanding when I was talking to the developers. It's like you can set it up the way that you want for your game. But I think there's great options here at the end of the day, and it's not like what we have right now is would be the option for people who didn't have whatever metrics they chose. Like you still are left with exactly what we have now. It's only a win, you know?
I hear you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
I'm for it.
It wouldn't be exactly what you have now because there would be a mass migration away.
Yeah, your percentages would shift of legitimate players, and
they note that actually. If you look in if you read exactly what the summary here is, it says the big negative here.
Dude. Oh man,
the devs themselves have noted that the big negative here is servers rely on a steady flow of players, new and old. This gate could have a negative net impact on the server's population and thus the overall gameplay experience. I will say this though, I can almost guarantee you that in Rust's case, the new players are not what's populating these types of servers and providing the health to the game. It's
new players don't even know that like the community tab exists, right? They're all on official servers getting cheated by a Korean Zerg of like 100 people at a time that are all working together. And this is just the reality of official servers.
I get it.
Yeah, and like that experience is not going to change for them regardless. So
when you said, and it might not be accurate, but it's probably close. When you said less than 1%, those people make up less than 1%. It's like, okay, then it's simple. It's a metric.
Yeah,
like,
and this again, like this genre is just, it's plagued by these issues specifically, and it's such a viable way to fix one of these things that really are a massive pain point of the consumers, and just to have like a cheating free experience for something like this game, which is so like provides something that's so unlike anything else, right? Like the Rust experience is magic if you have the time and you have a friend group, and you get deep for a weekend of just full degen. It's amazing. And
so good.
To have to contend with cheating the whole time really undermines that, which is a shame. So I don't know.
That is a shame. And I mean, I guess this will be my last thought because we should probably move to another topic.
Love for us, bro.
This is my last thought is like, dude, there was something so special about, I think it was like Christmas a few years back.
Oh yeah.
We had our big base and I don't think we encountered cheaters, man. It was just battles. real battles, and like we evolved at a steady rate. It wasn't super juiced out. Like it wasn't quick, but we had a great time. I was running around decorating the base and making paintings, and Crappy was stealing from everyone in our base, and we had to kick him out. But we had a great time, dude. It's such a special experience. So it does suck when cheaters ruin
Even
it.
if you're in group 2, as a group 2 member, I will tell you that group 2, was a little bit different of experience, but we still had our fun.
Yeah, I mean, the holidays is great for us because that's the only time like my real friends like have time off work and time off school, and you know what I mean. It's like no other time do you really get to degen like that. So yeah, holiday Rust is very hype.
Rustmas, baby. That's what it was, right? Rustmas.
Merry Rustmas.
And there was always the group situations, Abe. Back in the day, when we were on TeamSpeak, oh my gosh, you should have experienced the headache.
We weren't animals, bro. It was Ventrilo.
No, it was not. I never had Ventrilo.
It was Ventrilo.
Which was Markstrom.
I owned a Ventrilo for viewer play day. It's what we used exclusively back then.
Okay. This can actually... Listen, I'm not going to beat you in this argument on live. We'll handle this offline. But there's people in the chat that could absolutely verify. Ventrilo, you are worse. You're older than me. When you played Dota, you used Ventrilo. It was extremely headachy and toxic, and there was always those side groups, Abe. Because there's just too much. There's too much.
Well, there's limits
Bobby
too,
used
right?
to used to lead the OG group too.
Oh gosh, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. And then you'd have to have your connections, your links who would go from group to group. Oh my gosh, too much. But it was good. It was good. It was worth it.
It was a lot of fun. And I think that Rust they're a developer that cares. They're looking for real solutions, and
it seems like from a good place.
A one-sided debate. A one-sided debate in this case.
Yeah, with the loud minority of Reddit beards being upset.
Yeah. All right, well, what else we got, dude?
All right, well, I'm going to lean on our resident streamer for this next topic a little bit. I mean, I have some information on it, but there is a new program coming to the Twitch platform, and it's actually a partnership with Stream Elements. And basically, Stream Elements and Twitch have partnered together to introduce Stream Elements sponsorship platform into Twitch. It just integrated directly into Twitch's streaming platform. So the idea here is it's an easier way for creators on Twitch to kind of give themselves a profile to describe themselves, potentially for sponsors to be out there to help get discovered, help attract more sponsors to their channel, help get them to increase their sponsor revenues. And the idea is, if the streamers are getting more sponsorships, that's more dollars to the platform, more dollars to the streamer, and more incentives for people to stream on the platform. So I don't know too much about how the Stream Elements sponsor platform works. I know, Mark, I know you use Stream Elements. So I figured I would just kind of let you take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way that they put that. I love the way that they put that to make it easier for the creators, right? It's a new way to help you monetize. The fun part about this is that pretty much everything that Twitch does is an angle for them to get a cut of something, right? They always had subs, right? And then they thought to themselves, man, there's a lot of donations flowing in, man. How do we get some of that donation money? What if we offered our own third-party currency called bits? And you know what? 500 bits, that's going to cost you $7. But when you give 500 bits to a streamer, they'll get 5. Genius.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Versus the person just donating $7 through PayPal, and the streamer gets 99% of it. Very interesting. Yeah, it sounds good if you are CEO of Twitch. So every single thing that they put time and effort into over the last who knows how many years is just a way to figure out what corner of the pie can we cut out from the streamer and make it seem like it's a win for them. And they realized sponsorship money. That's another avenue. Right? And usually, when done right, it is either between a brand or a dev team and the streamer.
Yeah.
And the streamer has a rate. And if they are represented and that deal is brought to them by representation, then 20 to 30% of it goes to the representation and the rest goes to the streamer for the agreed upon rate.
20, 30. This
It's
is
what they
standard.
bring you. And
This is standard.
super standard. And this is true
Yeah.
for a bunch of different forms of media, not just gaming industry.
Yeah.
And so that's great, right? Because they take, I have representations. Shout out SideQuest Media. They're wonderful. And they bring me deals that I don't have to chase down. They bring me a bunch all year. I shoot down most of them because they're not right for me or not right for the channel, right? Or I don't feel good about it. And I pick the ones that I do. And I make a little bit of extra money through the year. And we do a hashtag ad for something dope, right? Great opportunities. And I don't have to chase down the payment, right? It gets there, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about reading every single contract. They do the contracts. I know what they all say now. It's great. So Twitch and Stream Elements, essentially Stream Elements first figured out, well, we have this platform where we help streamers monetize through alerts, right? It's an alert platform first and foremost. We could also be a middleman for some of these deals. And there are multiple platforms out there, like WeHype, for example, that basically have a bunch of streamers signed up, and then they make sure that they hook your account and leverage your metrics to try and get sponsored deals from companies to then give them to you as a quote unquote opportunity so that they can be the middleman and cut out a piece of the pie. And this is their entire business model. And Stream Elements thought, you know what? With our platform, we could do that too. And then they took that concept and they brought it to Twitch, because Twitch has had essentially exactly this through what they call a bounty board. That was their first attempt. So they launched what is called the bounty board, where you can go on every single week and see different activation opportunities. Great in theory. Only problem is that they are like 1/10 of the normal rate that a streamer would get based on their reach. It's literally like 1/10. It is embarrassing. And where do you think the rest of that money goes? Right to Twitch. And so essentially, my understanding of the sponsorships that have been available through Stream Elements is that they've been pretty shit. They've been HelloFresh and Raid Shadow Legends, and the ones that really are super widespread and you kind of see everywhere, especially through like podcast communities. It's all the ones that have like really big marketing campaigns. That's the bread and butter for all of these middlemen companies, right? And so that's really all that they've offered for a while. Twitch had much more specific gaming connections. And I think both of these programs have been pretty much not great, right? I don't think they've seen a whole lot of success. And now they've partnered up to try and make this a thing, right? And essentially this new program allows you to create a profile for your Twitch as a, hey, look at me, this is what I can do for your company type, right? Which again, sounds great if it wasn't like the third hand in your pocket for the work that you are going to do for the platform that you built, right? They are going above and beyond to make this available to affiliates, because they're not doing this for career broadcasters at all. They know that people who have been doing this and have been doing ad deals for 10 years, like myself, are too smart to know, like they know what's happening. They've seen it. They know exactly what's happening here. And it's never going to be in our benefit to take one of these deals. We are actively eroding and undermining our earning potential by selecting to do these, right?
Also, the market price.
Yeah, it affects it significantly.
Correct. You guys are contributing to lowering the market price.
100%. And so what they are attempting to do is they're going wide and shallow, and they're going to offer very little money to affiliates across the board who are going to be happy to say yes because it's their first sponsor deal. And Twitch is going to be the only one who wins here, / Stream Elements. I don't know what their, partnership looks like behind the scenes, but they will be the ones making the money. A couple of extra dollars and a feels good pat on the back, you did your first sponsor activation, is all that's coming out of this for a few affiliates. And I mean, the reality is that eventually this will fizzle out just like the other ones, because it's not meaningful money by any stretch of the imagination. And it will take time, but like people will realize that. But at first, they're going to make a big chunk of cash from this, 100%.
It is funny that you say all that, because when you look at some of the people who have commented on this on Twitch's behalf, one of the big people that was pushing how great this is for streamers and partners is Mike Minton, which is Twitch's chief monetization officer.
That guy should probably lurk in the shadows.
Yeah, I think Mike might have been in the room for this one.
Can you scroll down? Let's see. Let me just see. What is rising to the top here.
How about helping streamers who have been streaming for years and
still haven't gotten above a single-digit viewer? Do better.
Okay, that one might be on you, bub. All right.
Yeah. Hoping this opens up to more sponsorships opportunities in the future. That's a bot.
Yeah.
How about a feature where we can mass download / export the VODs you decided to unceremoniously dump because you want to save server space, which is, by the way, alarmingly cheap and will save you almost zero money. We're all scrambling to save thousands of hours of VODs. Wow.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yeah, we all got a really cool email a couple weeks ago, for those that don't know, that basically said, yeah, you can only have I think it was 100 gigs of video footage saved in your like highlights, essentially, because the highlights are in addition to your VOD footage. And I think streamers currently have 2 months of VODs, though I know that they're definitely trying to whittle that down. The reality is that, again, this is one of those things where it's like, oh no, look at the cost of this thing that the parent company of our company is the one charging us. Oh no, how will we ever be profitable? Oh no. And it's like, all right, bro, there's no way to not act like they can forever hang their hat on this ploy that Twitch is not profitable, and they can do that themselves, right? And then use that as justification for all of these absolute dog shit platform undermining changes, right? Because they just change whatever the Amazon Web Service is charging for Twitch servers, and bada bing, bada boom, they get their excuse for free. It's honestly disgusting business practice, and I try and mention it as often as possible.
Can you scroll back down, please?
Yeah.
There's one more I wanted to read. Right? Wait, hold on. Giving away. All right. How about those who do not wish to become affiliate or partner, basically signing up to give their to Twitch? I don't know what that means. Why do most integrations / extensions focus on purely on those titles? Very, very little out there for people not wanting to give half of their hard-earned money away. Well, damn. Okay.
No. What do they mean?
Very little opportunities. Any opportunities you're giving me with low metrics, I have to give away half of the money I'm going to earn, basally.
Yeah, it's more than half, probably.
Yeah, it's more than half. Don't want to become affiliate or partner is what he's referring to.
Well,
yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah, I mean, the reality for like non-affiliate, non-partner is stream everywhere. Don't just be streaming on Twitch, and B, have a PayPal link, because when we all started streaming, that's all we had to begin with. Like that was it. And I was full time for a year and a half until I got partnered and had a partner button. Like you can do it 100%, but it's about growing your audience and monetizing in a way that's actually going to benefit you, just like any other business out there, because streaming is literally no different than owning a small business.
Here's Mike Minton, by the way.
Hi, Mike.
He actually coming on. This is the chief monetization officer.
This
Kinda
guy,
love your
where
work,
did
Mike.
this guy go? Where did this guy go wrong? Looking at him back in the day, he was probably one of us.
No, it
What
wasn't.
happened to you? You
No,
don't
that
think
dude's
so?
never
You don't
played a
think
game in
guy
his
like that
life.
was-
No, he
No,
went to
yeah,
business
he's-
school and then got hired by Twitch.
Yeah, he got an
No.
MBA and then
No.
he went, yeah,
100%.
100%.
All right, go to the origin of this guy. Scroll, go as deep as you can.
I said the origin.
As we move on
I
to
would
the
rather
next,
see what other topics we have personally
as
than
we
see
move on to
anything
the
about
next
Mike.
one,
But
as we
Yeah.
move on to the next one, can you just start scrolling?
I'll start scrolling on the
Profusely,
side.
please.
Yeah, I'll look
thank
into
you.
that one. So all right, so let's topic jump then. The Marvel Rivals dev team, despite massive successes that you've seen out there, probably as far as the hero shooter, and quite literally hero shooter genre in this case, is concerned, probably the most successful one out there right now, especially in a sea of failures in that space. Despite all the success, they have decided to fire their entire NA-based web team development team. So they had an NA-based team and a Chinese-based team. The entire studio up in Seattle that was associated with the Marvel Rivals game, all have been laid off and let go. It's caused a little bit of a stir and controversy in the industry because obviously we're used to, especially right now, games maybe not doing so great. And as a result, you're seeing devs being let go from a lot of these studios. In this case, Marvel Rivals is in a wave of success currently and quite popular among streaming platforms, good on Steam charts. So people are kind of questioning what's going on here now that even amidst success in the industry, we're still seeing mass layoffs.
it's almost like upper big business is scummy regardless if they're successful or unsuccessful. Who would have guessed? I mean, it's not surprising by any means. They're gonna, again, I guarantee that this is these are people scrambling for next quarter projections. How can we do that? How many people do we really need to keep this thing going, glued together, so to speak? I don't know what that means for like the future of the game's development. I think hero shooters honestly don't change a whole lot once they get to a certain point. I'm not a big fan of the genre personally, so I don't have a lot of time in this kind of game. I don't really know like how often things change meaningfully. I never played Overwatch really, so I don't know what that looks like. All I know is that this game is literally the song hero of the gaming industry right now, because every other genre has continued to flounder. And people really wanted something to play, and it came along and was pretty good. And that's really all it took. And the game took off as they had a meaningful IP, and they put together a game that was fun to play for people. And I think people flocked from a lot of different failing genres to go play Marvel Rivals. And to be honest, I'm stoked for them. It's unlucky for me that it just happened to be a genre I don't enjoy. I also think it's particularly a bad genre for streaming if you give a shit about talking to your audience. But there's a lot of people out there who are having a blast, and that makes me happy because that's pretty rare. Pretty rare these days.
I mean, I'll go back a little bit in time to your thoughts on why they got laid off or potential reasons. What if the owners were like, okay, our Chinese, and well, unfortunately, I would say hire and keep in America, but that's a different conversation.
I think
What
it's a
if the owners-
Chinese-based studio to begin with. Just to
Yeah,
So
okay. Well, what if they were like, all right, let's look at who did all the work, whose projects are the reasons for the success, what did our teams do? They could have came to the conclusion like, oh, this team was sitting on their hands this whole year, not doing anything. Get rid of them. That could be a thing. Maybe not, but that could be a thing, dude.
Totally possible. Who knows?
Who
I've
knows?
dipped into this one a little bit further and done a little bit more research. It seems in general now that NetEase, which is the studio, put out a statement, but I don't trust any of those statements ever. They're all lies typically. What people seem to kind of be denoting, kind of similar to what you said, Mark, is that these hero shooters don't require as much ongoing maintenance once the framework and everything has been built. The NA team was largely responsible for getting the game designed and built and out of the gate. And a lot of the functions they needed to launch. And now that they've launched, it's just mainly character creation, model creation, and the monetization stuff that they need to keep it ongoing. They didn't need the NA team anymore, and they dumped them, despite them being a large part of their initial success.
Yeah, and I mean that's not surprising. And what it comes down to is, them showing the way that they're going to treat the people who build their games. And so now it's like for the next game that they want to build, maybe it won't be for a while. But it's like, what kind of job security is that? Are they going to get the most talent when they have that track record? Like, these are things that people who choose to go work in AAA development need to think about, and it's their responsibility to know like what the history is there. So it is business, and it's a choice that they're making very publicly. Amid a lot of it's specifically a very hot topic right now because most of these companies are cutting huge portions of their workforce out of necessity. So when you see the disparity between the game success and them still doing this, they're gonna get criticism, and this should have been very obvious that this should have been something they saw coming.
It's almost like is the gaming development industry turning into a project-based industry? Like, we're going to hire you on, guys, to jumpstart this, and most of you are going to be gone in a year.
Yeah, I mean, there's huge turnover for sure. And if I was doing the dev work, I would expect to not work for a studio for more than one project. That's the way it seems.
It's almost like it'll be, I'm not saying it'll be better. That's not fun. And some people probably think it's fun going business to business. You get a variety, but it's almost like more stability with embracing project to project. Then you can actually outline different types of contracts, different types of securities, maybe get more money per project. Sure. I don't know, but it's almost like if they're waiting to make that shift in the industry, maybe they should not wait so long and band together and be like, look, if you development companies are going to treat us project based, then we're going to start structuring our lives and our contracts project based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Personally, I'd be looking for like a 3 to 8 person team where I could get a piece of the pie, and not getting hired on to these AAA companies. There's just no way.
Or like Slum's alluding to, maybe you have a 3 to 8 person team and you will accept contracts from these companies to work on a game, but that's the extent of it, right? They're paying you a contract over a period of time versus, and that up front. I think the problem here is they didn't know up front that they were basically signed up to do the initial launch work and then get dumped to the curb.
Of course not.
Success.
Yeah.
It's a hard sell for a lot of people.
That's a very hard sell for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well,
not surprised to see it though.
No.
What else we got?
All right. Well, it's an exciting time of the year, guys. You know why? It is Girl Scout cookie season. You're probably, if you've been to the grocery store and you've seen the girls hawking the cookies.
I actually went to a diner the other day, and the diner owner let the Girl Scouts and their mothers into the airlock. And then that's like prime real estate. I was like,
oh, so they're like in between like the claw machine and
correct. And it was a big one too. So it's like the first room all the patrons walk into. I was like,
did you ask them to make the airlock sound when you went through?
No, but I was like, good for the business owner. Like, like maybe he's getting a little cut. Probably not. But like, as a business owner, you say, like, you weigh it in your head. You're like, okay, some of my patrons might get a little annoyed, but this is the right thing to do. It's like, good shit. Unless he's saying I need a cut of all those cookies.
I don't think he's getting.
I don't think he's allowed to do
so
that
either.
I don't think those girls get very much
good stuff. Good stuff, dude. That's a great spot. Great real estate. And
what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
It started out as Thin Mints, And then someone
You've
ruined
evolved.
them for me because someone was like, "Why do you want your chocolate to taste like toothpaste?" And I was like, "You son
That's
of a bitch!"
a wild statement. I still love Thin Mint,
But it's so accurate.
Mm-mm.
And it really is though. But I still love mint chocolate chip ice cream. And then it evolved to Samoas or whatever, the coconut delight.
They are now caramel delights, but they were previously Samoas.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
It's probably my favorite as well. I'm a Thin Mint and Samoa guy.
How
Yeah.
about
Those
you,
are the
Mark?
top two. 100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
My Thin Mints I freeze. I don't
Yes.
have a toothpaste aversion. I like mint and chocolate together. Because I'm not a baby. And I also like the Samoas because I like coconut.
So good.
They're pretty
So
fire.
good, dude.
You got a little
I
drizzle
thought
on them.
Oh yeah. I thought I
Well,
hated coconut.
But I'm
and
not
then
eating
someone
I'm not eating fucking Girl Scout cookies this year, man. I'm gonna be
Nah,
honest with
me
you.
neither.
Gotta lock in.
So there's a couple things too.
Lock
with this,
in, Abe.
right?
Sorry.
Lock in.
Well, number one, right? My favorite part of Girl Scout cookie season is when the fast food restaurants then take Girl Scout cookies and try to integrate them into their products.
Love that.
This year, it is this concoction right here from our pals over at Wendy's. And this is the Thin Mint Frosty. So it is a traditional Frosty with, I believe, a Thin Mint fudge syrup drizzled over the top of it. So that is just became available this past week at Wendy's during the Thin Mint season, aka the Girl Scout cookie season. Now, there's also another problem, and maybe it's good that you're avoiding them this year, because there's been a rumor, the rumor mill's out there, and it got onto a little podcast called the Joe Rogan Experience, where there's apparently an alarming apparently an alarmingly high rate of dangerous metals in Girl Scout cookies. And there's a potential recall due to contamination of heavy metals, glyphosate, and toxic ingredients, raising concerns about whether or not Girl Scout cookies are safe to eat. There is no actual FDA recall on them or anything at this time, but there are reports coming in that not only are Girl Scout cookies bad for the waistline, they have seriously heavy metals and things in the food that's highly dangerous for you to consume.
Wait, did you just throw that in there? Was that an Abe comment, or was that one of the headlines that not only are they bad for the waist?
That was all Abe right there. That was.
I had no doubt. That's good stuff.
That is so fucking cheesy, but it's hilarious.
That's great journalism.
I would like to see some studies. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not good. How about that dog in the background?
Saw that dog. That dog was eyeballing that shit.
Yeah.
Just a quick comment, because I know you probably have comments on this, Frosty. Is the logo supposed to say "mom" underneath her collar?
It doesn't say "mom," but that's part of an internet debate that I've seen before as to whether or not that was done on purpose by the design.
Okay. All right.
It is just supposed to be a collar with a brooch, I believe.
Interesting.
All right, but what do you think about this Frosty, Markstrom?
I'd try it. I like good Frosty, man. Sometimes I get a little in my beard, save for later.
So it is Thin Mints, hot fudge, and
I don't think there's any
chocolate.
actual cookie in it. I think it's just Thin Mint flavored fudge on top.
Correct. I believe it's like maybe, I don't know if they blend them into the fudge or not, but I've been trying to find confirmation on it. But I don't believe there are bits of the cookie in there.
I think Girl Scout, I would like that because I think that'd be a nice, like a little crunch with the Frosty. I like the texture vibe. Yeah.
You need it.
But
you need it.
I would assume that Girl Scouts of America get a nice fat check from Wendy's for the collab, right?
I believe so.
That's nice. I like when the fast food, it's nice that they do something decent with their evil corp.
It is nice.
Go ahead.
They're making
no. Wendy's
making money.
Oh yeah, they're juicing.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You want to break it down even more? Who knows the split that goes into the Girl Scouts Foundation?
Oh yeah,
yeah, true.
Like, what does that money go to? I have no clue. I hope it's good stuff.
You think it's a nonprofit? How do you think they run that, Girl Scouts of America?
I would hope that it's a nonprofit, but also that
like
doesn't mean they're not. That doesn't mean they're not corrupt. That might mean they're more corrupt. That's a bold statement, but I'll stand by it. You know what's really freaking crazy though, and it's on the topic of desserts from fast food. This is cool. I'm not gonna try it. It's cool, but you know what really pissed me off last week, dude?
What's that, man?
Pissed me off, man. I'm doing all right. I'm tracking my food a little bit. I'm not pigging out. So on the weekend, I wanted to have a McFlurry. You know what a McFlurry is?
Yes.
Oh yeah, but what do you put in yours?
Okay. So my McFlurry is the Oreo McFlurry.
Okay. I'm
That's
an
what
M&M
I
guy.
wanted to have.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
doing. There's another
Great.
one.
Then you might not feel the pain that I'm about to articulate. I go there, really excited to have a McFlurry. And I pull up and I ask for my McFlurry. Can I have extra Oreos as well? Yeah, you got it. No problem. Grab my McFlurry, put it in my cup holder. I don't start pigging out because I wanted to get home. I bought Trisha one too. Wanted us to share it together at the house and really enjoy it. I open it up and all of the Oreos are just on top of ice cream. Doesn't look like that. Does not look like that.
They didn't machine
all
it.
the Oreo crumbs are on top of the ice cream. And you know why? You know why they're on top of the ice cream? Can you take a guess or no?
They didn't machine the thing.
They don't want to get the machine dirty.
That they have to clean then. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Then they have to clean it. I worked at Chick-fil-A. I get it. But guess what? I was making milkshakes until 9:59 p.m.
You gotta.
Sure.
Because there's going to be someone pulling through that wants a milkshake, and I'm going to make it the right way.
Sorry,
And
machine's
guess
broken.
what, guys? It'll add another 10 minutes to my cleanup time. But if you're going to do something, you do it the right way.
I would rather
mess
that they at least do that than tell me that the machine's broken. It's
Fair.
not the worst path that they could have
when
went.
did we get to accepting mediocrity?
The minute
I'd rather them screw me half the way than all the way. I'd rather them make the freaking McFlurry that's advertised.
That's fair.
The heck? When did we get to that place?
Can I ask a side question? When you worked at Chick-fil-A, were you even making money, or were you just getting like high off your own supply? Because I know how much you love the Chick-fil-A.
It was my second job, so I started out at $8.25, and this is when minimum wage was $6.25.
Okay.
And I loved Chick-fil-A. I was eating food. You had to pay for half of your meal though. But I drank a lot of soda there. Then I stopped drinking soda because I gained a lot of weight. It taught me a lot about customer service. Taught me a lot about how to communicate. For every time I talk to Chick-fil-A or about Chick-fil-A to people, it's always good words. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life, dude.
quick service, baby.
Quick service. The job I had before that, dressing up like a pirate and a merman and doing birthday parties, not so fun.
No.
But Chick-fil-A, nothing but good words to say about working there, my experience working there. But McDonald's, listen,
Man.
stir the McFlurries.
Yeah.
Stir the McFlurries, guys.
Give it a courtesy stir themselves. I know they didn't machine it, but they didn't even like mix it.
That's not it. Hey, dude, that's okay. If I'm getting it and I don't have to question anything, and you still don't have to clean your machine, that's a win for everyone right there.
Yeah. That's just a low effort. That's a
low effort, dude. And then you're ruining my experience. I'm not going there this weekend. I'm going to Wendy's.
Yeah, I'm sure they're broken up about it. They're fucking stoked. It's one less customer.
Like you, dude, that keep this crappy fast food system moving because you accept it.
I don't need fast food. What are you talking about?
Well, then just be on my side. What's the big deal?
I'm just reiterating the point that they would be stoked to not have you as a customer.
You're
because they
right.
the whole point. Well, yeah, they win. You're letting them win.
The employee won.
What you should do,
McDonald's as a brand.
and you've done this to me before, so I'm gonna do this to you.
Okay.
You fucked up. It's your fault.
How did I fuck up?
Because you didn't check it at the window when you were there.
Ooh,
And you've done that to me before, and you told me that it was my fault that I didn't check the bag.
You're right. But would you argue that checking the bag and if you're missing a sandwich is different than checking a McFlurry and then asking them to stir the McFlurry when they intentionally did not stir it?
Same top-down visualization.
Like, for sure, you're right. I should have looked, but I probably wouldn't even have made the decision to say, hey, can you stir my thing? I would have said, fuckers, and I would have drove away.
Yeah, I mean, because it's integral to the product, though, too, I think, in this case.
It's a McFlurry. It's flurry.
Well, you didn't get a McFlurry. You got soft serve ice cream topped with Oreos.
That does sound good, though.
It does sound good.
I took it home and I stirred it myself, but that's
Did you stir it? See, I would actually prefer not to stir it.
No, see,
And
dude,
the
all right, we
reason,
gotta end.
is because I like to I divvy up the Oreo for the bite, and then some bites, you don't always need the Oreo.
No,
You got to divvy it up. When it's pre-stirred, it's really not up to you. You lose control.
yeah, but you have consistency. You don't want the consistency. You want to be in control of the consistency. But then you might be wrong sometimes. You might take too much Oreo and end up with half a cup of ice cream. I don't want that.
I never mess it up.
All right.
I'm surgical with it, brother.
It's hard to bet 1,000, but if you are, God bless you.
Whatever, dude. Oh my god, I think that's probably it, dude. I think that's a good spot to wrap it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Storm, what's new and exciting in your world, and what do you got going on, dude?
So we just found out we had our OnlyFans World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore meeting today that we are doing 4 30-man raids. So that's going to be interesting. They're going to be much harder than a 40-man. You have 10 less people. That's a lot less damage. Everyone actually has to do the mechanics and figure their shit out. So I'm really excited for that. Hopefully I'll get drafted for one of those raids, and we'll find out if I'm going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know. Friday, Monster Hunter comes out, brand new one. I'm excited for that. We'll probably check that out as well. I'm stoked for it, and I got some family in town this weekend, so should be good. Come see the games though. Twitch.tv/Markstrom. We'll be blasting.
Wonderful, love it. Abe, how about you, dude?
I'll be definitely checking out Monster Hunter on Friday too. Good series, very fun. And the new one kind of does look pretty good, so I'm excited for that one. And I've been dying for something new to play for a while now. It's been a little dead lately for games, so I'll definitely be playing myself, but also tuning in and watching Mark play over at twitch.tv/Markstrom, where I will also help moderate the channel.
Oh yeah.
That is wonderful. I'm gonna check that out too, to be honest. And me and you are having some conversation about other games that you were thinking about playing, which I'm very excited for as well. And I mean, you know me. If you want to support, go buy a bag of Raven Roast, and that also supports Markstrom and myself, which is nice. Anyway, would you kindly hit that subscribe button if you haven't already? What are you waiting for? I have been seeing the numbers go up, so I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Hit the bell, though, as well. And then after that, share this channel with your mom, your dad, your brother, the fish in the fishbowl, the dog on the couch, and everyone in the Discord DMs. Like, just start slanging this link to everyone in the Discord DMs. That'd be wonderful, because we want everyone to see this show. Like, who knows? They might click in, and they might hear us talk about the McFlurry debate, and they're going to be like, Markstrom, you are a sick bastard that you like your McFlurries not stirred up. So please do share. It really does help. We do this show every Wednesday unless Markstrom has a baby or Abe goes on vacation. And we have a good time doing it, and we want to bring this good time to as many people as we can. So this has been a wonderful episode of the Plugged Podcast, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Deuces.